What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV Daily, your source for daily tech news. Make sure you subscribe so you know what's going on in the world of tech. How is everyone doing? I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today is actually day one of CES. I've been here for 2 days, but those first 2 days are kind of like all these pre-parties and pre-events and kind of get events to kind of get you ready and get you in more personal contact with the vendors versus like battling everybody. So again, today is the very first day of that. So if you see anything cool, I'll post it on like Instagram or maybe a YouTube short. So keep your eyes peeled that. If you want to follow me on social media, it's Greggles TV everywhere, at Twitter, at Instagram, at TikTok, and on YouTube, of course. So today's stories are all about the Galaxy S23 Ultra. And we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about some mostly good stuff, but there is something in there that it's not bad, but it's kind of interesting because you'll get to it. So let's talk about the good stuff first. So, and all these stories I'll link down below. So if you want to read these tweets, after the fact to see more, graphics, basically, you can do that in the link in the description down below. So the first is all about some of the things that we maybe knew or didn't know about the Galaxy S23 Ultra. Some slightly smaller things, but things that are still important. So first of all, it will include Gorilla Glass Victus 2. So it's going to have that ultra durable glass. Does it mean it's not going to break or scratch ever? No, but it just means it's going to be one of the best that's currently available, the best that's currently available. It's going to have an armor aluminum frame, so if you drop it again, it's going to be a little bit more durable. IP68, which hasn't changed, has been that for years now, which means it can go underwater and it's dust resistant. Not forever, but at certain levels. It has AI VDIS front and back optical stabilizer. So it sounds like not only has optical stabilization, but it also has, I guess, I don't know if the AI is just the branding or artificial intelligence, but obviously it has front and back camera stabilizers. DDR5 RAM, which is, I think that's the best RAM. I don't think they have DDR6 yet. I could be wrong on that, but DDR5 RAM, so ultra fast RAM, 200 megapixel optical image stabilization, and 2 times wider and better double. So basically, it's got that new camera, which we've talked about, 200 megapixel camera, up from the 108 megapixel camera currently on their Ultra phone. Cameras DX, so the camera glass protection layer is Camera DX. Back camera has artificial intelligence, which, let's be honest, it kind of always did, so that's not really anything, but supposedly we've heard it's improved, which is always great. Some of the stuff that Google does with their cameras, and why I personally like it so much, is it does have artificial intelligence built in there. It's got computational photography, which improves the look of the photos. You can take a low megapixel, maybe even not a great camera overall, and get some beautiful photos. Pixel does a great job at that, and it seems like Samsung's improving in that based off of some of the rumors that we're hearing. Super HDR for your photos on there, which again, great. So you get more dynamic photos on there with blacks and colors and things like that. Now, getting to the story of where things get a little, again, not bad, but just something to be like, why didn't they go for the best on this? That's what's kind of weird. So the tweet comes from Ice Universe, and he goes, unfortunately, Samsung's flagship smartphone screen lost to the iPhone 14 Pro for the first time, and we'll get into that in a second, but it's weird that he says that because Samsung makes their own displays, but they also make the iPhone display. So why wouldn't they give themselves the best display? So basically, it sounds like what happened is, if you remember, the brightness on the S23 Ultra is going to be 1750 nits of brightness, and iPhone, if I'm not mistaken, is at 2000, and that's just 2000. It doesn't have to reach a certain thing. Like, you turn up the brightness, it gets to that. Now, he goes on to say that no one can surpass the peak brightness of iPhone 14 up to 2400 nits. So I guess it's 2400 nits. I'm sorry. iPhone 14 Pro is 2400 nits, and the Galaxy is 1750, and so it's not as bright. Now, it doesn't mean the display is awful. It doesn't mean you're not going to be able to see it. It just means iPhone's going to continue continuing to have the brightest display overall by a pretty large margin, which is kind of surprising. I still feel like when I look at an iPhone, I look at a Galaxy phone, no matter what lighting setting, have it be outside or whatever. I don't know. It just seems like to me Samsung still has a brighter display, even though it might not anymore. Very interesting stuff that Samsung wouldn't go to that next layer. I can't. Maybe they're worried about battery life. Maybe they're worried about, or maybe they signed some exclusive deal with Apple to give Apple that title, and they're like, you know what, we'll take a couple rings down. We don't mind. Maybe it has to do with pricing. Could be anything. What are your thoughts on that? Does it bother you that Apple's going to continue to have the brightest display of all time, or do you not care? Let me know in the comments down below. Hope you have a great day. Don't forget to follow me on social media if you don't already, and we'll see you down the road. Peace.